1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles, a scene setter for tonight's fight. The then 20-year-old from Marrickville in New South Wales was Australia's bright hope for the gold medal in the flyweight division. Fenech won his first two bouts, but the third against Yugoslavian Redzep Sapofsky, split decision. The judges gave the fight to Fenech. In the final, Sapofsky was beaten by the American McCrory, who took the gold, leaving the question, could it have been Jeff Fenech's gold medal?
But he certainly hasn't been impressive in his regard to Jeff Fenech. And a bit of a job.
Fenech with a mean look on his face.
Superior record to that of his opponent.
1984 Los Angeles Games.
McCrory, but he got through slapping punches to the when he goes around the shoulders.
Early round, as you can say, going to have to settle himself into the fight.
The American, he took a lot of them on the midsection with the left hand, working up to his man and making McCrory know that he's in with a strong, willing and capable opponent.
And a couple of rounds to settle in this fight. Very tense, and he knows that McCrory is a good fighter who winning the Olympic gold medal was no mean feat. So
putting on points with this attacking stance that he's taking, going up with those wild shots over the shoulder, and McCrory's fight. The look of defiance in his eyes. Two of the hands held very hard.
He's standing in front of Fenech and protected himself and taking all those punches on the gloves.
There's McCrory trying to work his score to the mouth, and he's trying to get around the side of McCrory's left hand, which is tucked up to the face. McCrory keeping those gloves packed in very tight to his face. Chopping right hand there from Fenech. Fenech, as he backed away from his man and might have mistimed the shot, in the perimeter of the ring and in left to the face and tries to follow up, but Fenech went up with the gloves and has tight defense. Oh, there's a good right hand from McCrory. Again for the body. The American weaving. Now McCrory working Fenech into a corner and ripping away to the body, but Fenech comes off the counter punches.
It's lovely to see McCrory obviously showing his vast experience as an athlete.
Caution these hands.
Then he says, watch your head, watch your head. I'm afraid when you're fighting for a world title, this do happen, and it's unfortunate, but he's in there to fight, he's not in there to complain.
Fenech, lock horns in mid-ring there, and the American misses.
Jeff is trying to get his range still. I'm just hoping that in these early stages of the fight.
Yeah, when you consider that he may be expending too much energy in these early sessions, possibly.
That was a very hit McCrory right flush on the face.
And he goes in. McCrory's very tight. He's, I think, proving to be a better campaigner in the ring, McCrory, than Jerome Coffey.
Sit with him, settle himself into this fight, and not waste too much energy on his gloves, on the McCrory's gloves and elbow.
Letting some body rips go and then going back into a defensive shell, and these tactics. Ropes, him to get an opening. Ties left and right. Short.
I think both these young men are trying to prove something to. It's amazing when you're an Olympic gold medalist and you're fighting a guy who thought he should have been. There's a bit of a grudge. There's certainly
open spaces there in the Americans' midsection. In goes the left hand again from Fenech, and over the top with the right. And there's broad grin. Was able to jabbing out again. Fenech working both hands again. A lot of infighting going on here, Joe.
I think Jeff is going to prove to McCrory that he is a world champion. He's not here to fight for a gold medal. He's here to defend his world title, which is far more. It's valued at far more than the gold medal.
To go at 3 minutes. Catching the judge's eyes. American, but Fenech's right was a stinging punch. Getting his hands over the top.
McCrory looks as though he's in pain, grimacing every time Fenech hits him in the body. It's amazing what a couple of good body shots does. Your hands tend to...
Seems to be favouring his right hand. He's working well to the body. Fatigue.
punches he's been taking from Fenech has been quite phenomenal. I cannot understand the reason why he's standing there in such an early part of the fight and taking those big shots.
Well, he did a lot of this in the gym around the head area. A lot of shots that he shouldn't have taken in the gymnasium, but on the night than he was in the gym.
It certainly does. This fight wasn't going to go anywhere, but I believe that this McCrory is a dash good challenger for the world title.
Oh, by the way, for the people right through the length and breadth of Australia listening to this fight tonight, or watching it, Shane Knox could have.
And I was also very pleased to see Shane Knox win.
There was a telling right hand, and in close Fenech, uppercutting, and trying to finish the American off. For his sake.
I'm just hoping that he'll be able to sustain this.
It is
and I just still believe that Jeff... Oh, here's a replay. I mean, just shows you how he's grimacing every time Fenech lands those good shots.
Watch his weight. He certainly has to watch his stamina in the closing part, but he's very strong. There's the American team up to the ropes and works hard. And now Fenech's cutting loose underneath. And got...
McCrory has certainly taken some... Of course, he hasn't let up once yet. He's just put the pressure on from round one. Smiles and grimaces from McCrory to the fans is going to help him. He should be concentrating more on his work.
Compatriot Hurley Sneed have both had experience in acting, and he might have to use some of that tonight besides the...
He may just have to. For writing in and thanking me to be on ABC for the great fights at ABC and lovely fans out on television.
Him the other day, and he said this time we might see him here tonight as a bantamweight for the last time.
He's still growing and is still maturing. He hasn't, as Johnny Lewis has said, to make the weight. I think he should step up one class and give himself that nice breathing pace where he doesn't have to work so hard to get the weight off.
Fenech starting to pound away there at the American, in close there, but steps away from Fenech. Fenech misses left and right.
Jeff has a slight trickle of left jabs that McCrory does throw.
The ones that do land from Fenech are by far the most telling punches of the two. And there's the fusillade of blows from Fenech. The last two or three went...
He certainly is a very clever mover, that McCrory, and a lot of those punches that Jeff has not landed on its target, but the big ones that McCrory could have had trouble making the weight as well, because although there is...
As a loser at the body region, and now...
Annoy any from fighter. McCrory is beginning to realise this.
Good right from McCrory, it lifted from Fenech's head. That was the best right he's...
By Fenech's onslaught.
The world has a fine reputation. But in the he has the better knockout record, which be curtains for the American in the later rounds. And he's still hammering away to that midsection. Quite a short right-hander.
A very good right hand from McCrory. And I his own experience that he's gained through his career.
Fenech's trying to back the American onto the ropes. American shots. He's starting to fumble around now. McCrory and Fenech stabbing at him. Showing some signs of the wear he's taken, McCrory.
Well, the fans are certainly loving it. I'm sure both very talented young men here, both undefeated. Jeff will get to McCrory, and he's got his chance tonight. I believe that Fenech will come out on top.
Yeah, he has the energy to keep pouring it on. And there's Fenech dropping one down hand, bouncing each other's gloves. Here's McCrory. Fenech facing his man. McCrory tries to mix it with...
Of course, he's very muscular. He's just wasting away at this weight.
Yeah. Stronger man as a super bantamweight, or even up to the feathers a bit later.
Would very well make it.
Now the American goes back, another jab to the face.
Come on, watch your head, Jeff.
The American tried the right hand and came back with a good combination of punches there, McCrory. Cut loose in good style. But Fenech was stung into action. Back to mid-ring, and they're trading blows from all sorts of directions.
McCrory hit Fenech was instantly with a flurry of punches would put McCrory off guard.
Copy left and right and followed up with an...
Fenech was hit with a very good left hook there, and McCrory saw his...
Well, it's a good round from McCrory. Good round. He's hitting the shots in there. Pedaling, stepping away. Tries left and right. They were short of range. McCrory throw the punch in time now.
This is a sign that he's very fit.
Stage of the fight, I'd have to lean to him on that particular.
That round has to go to McCrory.
Yes, with the left hand.
Fenech again, line, trying to pin McCrory against the ropes. McCrory with the gloves taken up high to the face. Trying to work a probing left hand. Ducking away from being hit. Bruising fight. McCrory. Good right hand.
McCrory was talking in that clinch again, and I think he's been hurt.
Energy in those earlier sessions, but he's still strong. Back comes the American with a hard right hand to the side of the head. Fenech. Oh, that right hand.
McCrory threw another good right hand, which has caught.
Fenech dropping that left and pounding away to the body. McCrory tried the right, came back with it out there in time. McCrory dropped.
I think both men have thrown rounds.
It's clearer in the corner before.
That's it.
Running now and doing a bit of fancy work.
Fenech a very good fight. Body. Oh, there's a swinging left-hander from Fenech. McCrory is backing away to the ropes. In goes it, ruffled him up. Back goes the.
When he's throwing that left jab now, as he pulls back, as you can see.
Might be trying to let Fenech.
Jeff's got himself in a corner. He's realised that.
The right hand again, left hand by Fenech, and left and right again by Fenech, and a right-hander, and another right by Fenech, left and right by Fenech. The American back.
He's really took some big shots from Fenech. He threw a very wild left hook there, which missed. Jeff just keeping the pressure on.
Working away, the American McCrory looking, and McCrory looking for a chance to find an opening on Fenech's chin with the right glove. Both men land simultaneous jabs.
I must say, although he's been hit with some very remarkable, that he's been able to guard himself so well.
Yeah, McCrory very tight inside. Both men supremely fit. Fenech letting go with
Fenech.
Fenech throws them into them 3 or 4 or 5.
The other great fighter called Bobby Chacon, who was one of the greatest champions I've seen, and Jeff is certainly pro.
It's like both men watching their defences very tightly indeed. A lot of short infighting here. American rolling his head on Fenech's shoulders, trying to get set for the right again.
Are enjoying this fight because this is one of the finest fights I've seen in Queensland. Chinchilla.
Fenech good punches. American didn't have an answer for them there on that occasion. And the pressure will go on the American because he hasn't gone yet away now and bearing and flexing the shot. Left hand by Fenech. McCrory chops in. The mark here. 8 tight rounds. McCrory has never been collecting the bigger shots on his chin. A nice left and right from Fenech. They were very hurtful punches, and McCrory is not looking too well. McCrory backing and tried a loopy right hand.
This is with some of those big body shots and that I don't believe anybody could stand up to.
Contact made frequently with the heads. Top-rated fighters in that division withstanding this, but whether he fights Bantam again remains. Well, now Fenech pouring the pressure on. Caught McCrory, and McCrory.
Look at how Jeff just determined grit.
Fenech, after all, he did go very fiercely in those first 5 rounds.
Themselves because both men can.
I
would have thought he'd have run in some of his strength, but he.
And then trying to work it back to the bottom once more. Both men let right-handers go. They got the left hand down. McCrory fires a right. Fenech getting inside McCrory.
Because I think he realizes that unless he pulls out something spectacular, Fenech will be there and they'll pressure him right up to the final moment. McCrory's hurt. Yes, McCrory's hurt. He doesn't.
Getting some heavy shots around the body. Fenech, oh, good punch. Beautiful punch by Fenech. And really hurt McCrory. Other right-hander. Left, right by Fenech. Left, right. And the American staggers away. Fenech goes to the body. McCrory's hurt.
The whole 11 seconds to go down to the countdown for this round. Both men, Fenech has come on very strong. McCrory doesn't know where he's standing. I'm sure it's sapped a lot of his strength. And in fact, I cannot understand. It just goes beyond me. Because one of his men hurt, he will be there.
Now Fenech's right on 12th round. And he's calling the shots. The American stepping very deeply into his tracks now. Working to the body and lifting the shots up to the side of the face.
This is 11th round and McCrory has never been this far, so the pressure really must be telling on him. Unless he can keep his concentration.
He turned his back, that's a sign he's tired. McCrory turned his back, and Fenech, the master here, in round the eye, and he's taking shots without answering.
A very grueling fight for both of these men. I'm sure Jeff Fenech will be glad when this fight's over, because he has taken some very heavy shots as well. Other Jeff here, as you can...
Trying to get on. Neck.
The sheer strength is coming out. Jeff Fenech is just hitting
A
this
little bit
man.
low, that one, but still. The right hand, very McCrory, and a grave doubt whether he'll see it out. Those body big gold medalist. Fenech is ruffling his man up to the ropes, and McCrory doesn't have an answer.
And if McCrory doesn't throw a punch soon, Ryan Moore will have to step in and stop this fight, but he does come back with two. He has a right to stop the fight.
Those piston ring shots, round 13. Dance coming up.
Well, as we can see here, Jeff Fenech has put on a great performance, and here we are in round 13, and Fenech is as fresh as he was in round 1, and it's a remarkable credit to this young man who's a great champion in the...
Back in metallic. They cut into the clear there, but it was a fairly ragged sort of a punch from McCrory. Fenech's too short, rights landed in close. Very strong tempo fight. It's been fast, pinned up on those ropes again.
McCrory keeps coming back with those great left hooks and right.
Now he's got McCrory fighting back legs, McCrory, and he's in a dangerous area there with Fenech.
To the Australian world champion, no answer to him at all.
He's looking very ordinary here, McCrory, and I'll have to watch him very closely. Yeah, I think the referee's considering that. Now he goes down.
That was a very...
McCrory's out again at Fenech hand, and McCrory trying to reel underneath them, but if he latches onto one of them, it could be the end of the... Trying to work his shoulders underneath the... Pounding away relentlessly.
McCrory does not have an answer to the...
Pouring out of both, trying to defend himself, but he's getting in close and staying in there, seeking refuge in the clinch. He's still being worked at by Fenech on the body.
Punches of Fenech are going to the body a little bit.
Fans are calling out to players. This is where the 15th round is starting to find him out. That might be the end of it, and they're with him.